Hi all, I'm Dodd. Today I'm going to show you my Trangia mod. First I'm going to get my Firebox Nano set up real quick so it can support the Trangia. To do that we will put in the Nano fire sticks for the Trangia. We will lock this in place, help keep it from moving around. Now I got my little leather case that I keep my Trangia in. Remove the simmer ring. And that is basically my modification, which is I removed the inner wall by cutting it diagonally with a die grinder wheel that was really small on a Dremel. I pushed it down and I took a pair of pliers to crimp it together so I could remove it out the top. Then what I did initially was I removed everything in there and packed it with super wool, which has no binders or lubricants, so it's safer to burn. It doesn't create a formaldehyde when it's burned. And I mean, you could use mineral wool or fiberglass insulation if you're outside. That's not a big deal, but I do a lot of indoor cooking and I really wanted to find a way that I could have a no spill unit, especially for an alcohol stove, because if you've ever had them tip over, they create quite a mess, and hopefully you have something there to put it out, but ideally you just want to prevent that. So this is no spill, and this is holding about 3.8 fluid ounces of denatured alcohol, which is quite a bit. That's 110 milliliters. And with the generally with the regular Trangia, you're only going to be about getting 70 milliliters in there. And I can turn this upside down, which is really nice. I mean, obviously that's not how you're going to burn it, but if it does fall over somehow, no big deal. You just pick it up. Well, hopefully you got some gloves or some tough fingers, hands. So what we're going to do, as everybody knows, alcohol stoves take a little while to heat up. So what I'm going to do is I have a bit of carbon felt that I take. And I take my alcohol, give her a good hose down on there, and then I'm going to light it up. I'm going to stick it right under here to help heat that stove up. Now I have tested this out. I've actually put it inside the freezer and heated it up like this, and I mean, this still has a blooming period to it, so that's generally about 2 minutes, and then the jets will operate because the gas is forced out the jets as it heats up. So I will let this warm up a little bit, which is basically priming the stove, but this comes in handy. I mean, you can see that didn't really take that long at all, but I'm going to stick it under there. As you can see, the jets fire up. I'll pull that away. You can see it's starting to bloom now. Just take and kill that off. And there you go. Nice blue flame. Jets are working. And my burn time on this particular mod was about an hour, a little bit more than an hour. But you're using more fuel as it sucks it out, because those jets are working, and that'll make it more efficient. But as you can see, that works pretty good. Before I did the mod and added that inner wall, it burnt much like this with the simmer ring on there, but then you won't really have to carry the simmer ring. But it still works if you want to choke it off a little bit. But that's basically how burnt And then I got an hour and a half burn time out of that, which was insane. And that was about 3.8 fluid ounces as well. Hour and a half cooking time, that's that's a lot. So I mean, I could cook pretty much anything on it. But I didn't give up. So what I did is I added that inner wall and I repacked everything to give it the jet action, so I could actually control my heat a little bit more. Because I did use it with on the medium heat like this, but it just took a long time to cook some stuff. This boiled my water in under 6 minutes, so I was pretty impressed with that. And then when I did my test with it on medium using the 550, it took about 10 minutes and 30 seconds. So this definitely adds a lot of heat to it, and you get that nice blue flame, which you really didn't get off the regular Trangia. And like I said, if it tips over, no big deal, you're not losing any of your fuel, which is a big, huge plus for me. That's mainly why I wanted to do it. And then when I found out the burn time increased, that just made it even more sweet deal. So what I do to kill it out, because if you blow on it, it's not going to want to go out. So I choke this up on the simmer ring. I'll put that on the top, let it chill out a little bit as that heat cools down, and then I'll take and I'll snuff it out with my carbon felt. And there you have it. You can see hopefully my inner wall in there. Then I got the mesh, and I got cotton underneath my super wool here, and more carbon felt lining the bottom. I mean, you're not going to be able to do that with a regular Trangia. It ain't happening. Well, you can, but you're going to lose all your fuel, and you're going to make a big, huge, fiery mess that you're going to have to deal with. So that's pretty much it. We're going to cap that off real fast before it blooms. I'm going to take and reinstall my simmer ring. Take and put my piece of carbon felt back in there for priming. And put it back in its handy dandy little case. And then I'll close up my nano. Which is pretty fast, probably my favorite stove of all time. We actually cooked quite a bit of stuff on this little nano. Never ceases to amaze me and or impress. Pop that back in there. Make sure the legs are in. Pop that in. Pop her back in the case. There you go. Biggity bam. Trangia mod. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.